Hey, what's up, guys? Danny the Ocean Experience here, and over my deep, raspy, I'm not fully awake yet voice is going to be uh, a little match I had stored away for you guys earlier on in the year. I never got to upload. It's CM Punk and Brock Lesnar versus Team Hell No, and when they were still a faction. So yeah, you can tell how pretty old this video is. But I'm stalling here. So here we go, guys. The Call of Duty BattleField reviews. As promised, these are my last two big game franchises releases reviews I'm going to be doing this year. And I thought it's only proper that I combine the two because, I mean, they're always talked about in one light or the other, or game battles or fanboy opinions. But here at Danny the Ocean Experiences channel, I throw my fanboy inside of me right out the window, or I either lock him up in a cage so I can give you the full and complete unbiased opinion on said video games, on whatever I am reviewing. I try to keep it fair for the series fanboys as well as people that just want to know who like both of the games, like me, who like both of these games in here, just like I do other review videos for. I like all sorts of games, and I like both of these games, and I would really just want to keep it fair. For instance, at first I didn't have enough money for both of them, so I'm just here to help any of you guys out. Now, before I really get starting, I know this has already been a minute into this video, but the thing I want to get to first, really quick, is I like to talk to my fans and my subscribers as much as possible on comments on my videos. And if for any of you guys that are watching this who also watched my Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag videos, and I didn't get to you, I did not expect, I mean, and I hope they did, but I didn't expect them to blow up so popular as they did. I try to keep up with as many questions and even comments. Like I said, I like to talk directly to the people. I'm not one of those guys that just puts up a video and never looks back, just racks up the views and subscribers. I like to communicate with every single one of you that makes contact, with me. It's my obligation, as it should be any YouTuber, that people go to your videos and watch. Anyway, 2 minutes into this video, I've said enough about myself. Here we go. uh, let's start out with Battlefield. And the reason I'm going to start out with Battlefield 4 is because this is the thing that intrigued me. And now, for those of you that have Battlefield 4, it should say on the back of your case, like it did my copy. I believe it was like IGN or something said that before, this was before Call of Duty Ghosts came out. Battlefield 4 blew Call of Duty Ghosts out of the water, and I'm like, okay, I could go with that. You know, no offense to Call of Duty, but Infinity Ward has been kind of going off a one-hit wonder and just making sequel after sequel. So I could see if it's some new content and some upgrade stuff in Battlefield, I could see it happening. But it's kind of a bold statement to make against a game that hasn't even been released to the public yet. And so I put in Battlefield 4. I do that HD content crap just like always. They haven't really figured it out like most games have, where you can just put the damn thing in and play, and you don't have to download anything. But downloaded that, put it in. The story was okay. Um, the graphics, I'm just trying to be as fair as possible because I really didn't like Battlefield 4, and I love Battlefield series. I've gotten all of them, and I think it was kind of just a disappointment, not from a franchise standpoint, but just because it felt so rushed. The story, I think, is like 8 chapters long, and the first chapter you're kind of just like thrown into this war, and your squad guy, your main squad dude you report to dies, and and you're just like thrown into something, and you get like captured 2 or 3 times throughout different chapters. So half of the chapters of the story you're basically escaping, and it just was so short, and it was just hard to get a grasp of trying to understand. And I know Battlefield and Call of Duty, they're multiplayer games. Like, a lot of people, when you say Call of Duty or Battlefield, people's minds shoots right into the multiplayer. But at the same time, I don't think that franchises, especially Call of Duty and Battlefield, should forget where they first started at. They started getting popular and known for campaign. If it wasn't for any of their campaigns being so good and likable, they would never have lasted as long just to be able to create a multiplayer and then eventually be able to be just popular on the multiplayer alone and sell their game just on the multiplayer gameplay. So I was disappointed in it. It looked like it was little to no effort for Battlefield 4's campaign. The graphics kind of looked. They tried to be edgy. They tried to be like cutting edge, new gen graphics, but it might have just been the Xbox. They were pushing for a new gen look, and it just came out like moving water paintings. But uh, in my opinion, the statement made on the back of the Battlefield 4 case is not true. Call of Duty Ghost is the next one, and I'm gonna give my ratings at the end of this video here. Call of Duty Ghosts was actually, and like I said, I'm not a fanboy of either one. I love both series, but I will say I was shocked, and I don't say that often about Call of Duty unless I'm doing like a Rage or Rant video, but I was shocked. I was decently pleased with how long the longevity of the campaign was, what story they told. I mean, thank God for once, for like in 3 years now, Infinity Ward didn't go off a story that was already ongoing and kind of getting, dried out, and they were able, just like with Black Ops 1, they created a whole new story, and not only was I intrigued from point A to Z, I was also just into the story. I was like, cool. I mean, the only thing I could say that could have been better was the guns. I didn't feel like there was a lot of guns in the campaign. Um, I didn't feel like there was different sounds to the guns. And I know that maybe not a big deal, but I mean, like I said, I don't have many complaints for Ghosts, so they're my only complaints. Um, I think what they did with the Ghosts and the betrayal, well, the betrayal that they thought someone had did, and I'm not going to ruin the story for either games. But I think that what they did with the twists and turns was really nice. The fact that you are a character who's also a sibling, your two brothers working together, and the dog Riley. I think for Call of Duty, introducing a dog into a gameplay is kind of risky, but at the same time, it very well worked for them. I was actually very pleased because I have had dogs in the past myself, and just from the traits that the dog showed to some of the stuff he'd do, like I was just paying attention to how his ears would flop and his snoot would curl up when he'd growl, and it was a good experience with Riley, the German Shepherd, as well as let me try to think here what else I could pull out of the hat to not maybe ruin too much of the actual story itself. Oh yeah, the vehicles. I wanted to get into that. One, I like the underwater stuff. I like that underwater and space stuff. Now we kind of got some space stuff in Black Ops with the zombie maps, but they never really touched on it as good as they did in Ghosts. It was kind of fun to roam around in space. Um, and underwater, it was like a whole new Call of Duty experience where you weren't just on like some train track vehicle thing in a course. You were actually swimming on your own in the water, and then there was like this little part with bull sharks you had to dodge. That was kind of creepy a little bit. I hate sharks, and they really made it realistic, so I was like geeking out. And it was just really nice. And the fact that one of the last missions for Call of Duty Ghosts, you're actually in a tank, it made me think of the good old war days, which I very much long for. I really hope Call of Duty, if anybody important's watching this, which I hope you are, I hope everybody's watching this video till the long end of it. Please bring back at least one World War II game. Please don't forget where you started. Please don't forget what your fans truly love. I mean, it's wonderful what you guys did, but I would really love to see a World War II game, reinvented, whole new, fresh story. Other than that, I want to say that I'd give Call of Duty Ghosts about an 8, an 8.0, I guess. I'm not going to give any weird numbers. And this is all campaign. I don't want to judge for the multiplayer. There's too many factors to judge on in them. Um, Battlefield 4, I'd give a 5. Obviously, I think it could have done a lot better. And I realized it was a outer company branch that said it was better than Ghost before it came out. But putting something on the back of your video game case and then approving it, even though it's by another branched company, it's very negative. It's kind of risky, and especially because uh, there was 8 chapters in Battlefield 4, and the story was just so crisscrossed and confusing. And in Call of Duty Ghosts, there was 18 chapters, and it was a very detailed, played story where they grabbed you by your scrodes from the beginning, and they just dragged you along for those 18 chapters. And being a fan, you kind of knew where some of it was going, but even for the veterans like myself, I did not know what twists and turns I was going to be taking next. It was very exciting. Um, if you guys are interested in watching some more reviews, I do have a WWE 2K14 video up that desperately needs some love, you guys. I know there's not a lot of wrestling fans compared to Call of Duty and Battlefield fans, but just show me some love if you found this video intriguing, and you're considering maybe something else to get. You're not entirely sure and you have an open mind. Definitely check out the Assassin's Creed 4 review video, and check out the WWE 2K14 video. And I hope you guys found this gameplay in the background pretty interesting as well. Like I said, it was just a long time coming for this footage to be out. It's very old, so I hope you guys still got some joy and pleasure out of it. So, but I think that's my honest and unfair or unbiased opinion. I think I was very fair, and I hope you guys agree. And I hope I helped you guys make a decision for your wallet. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.